Welcome back to another episode of the Money Codes. My name is Joel, and I'm here to give you your daily installment of your Money Codes. And today we're talking about an interesting topic. Can your employer or your potential employer look at your credit report and your credit scores? Stay tuned because it's going to get a little interesting. So let's jump right in. The answer to the question is yes. A potential employer or your employer currently can actually view your credit profile. Now, here's the thing, they cannot see your actual 3-digit credit score. So they don't know if you have a 720, 680, 350. They don't know any of that. What they're able to actually see is they have like a Cliff Notes version of your credit profile. It's going to be very condensed, it's going to be very abbreviated, and they only have access to see certain items. So what are those items? They're going to be able to see if you have any public judgments, if you have any collections, if you have outstanding utilization, so meaning you have maxed out credit cards or close to maxed out credit card accounts. Again, they're not going to be able to see your account details because that goes against the FCRA guidelines, but they're able to get a big picture view of whether or not their potential employee has certain tendencies. They want to check for responsibility. And I put responsibility in quotes because I clearly don't agree with the mindset behind this, but I'll get to that later. And also too, under FCRA, what can't they actually go ahead and check out? Well, according to FCRA, employers can't look at the following information when performing background checks on job candidates: bankruptcies up to 10 years, civil suits, civil judgments, arrest records after 7 years from date of entry, paid tax liens after 7 years, accounts placed for collection after 7 years, any other negative information except criminal convictions after 7 years. Now, my next question would be, how often or how many employers tend to do this? Is this a common practice? Do they get to pick and choose? Well, according to the Human Resources website, about 25% of human resources professionals use credit or financial checks while hiring for some positions, and 6% check the credit of all their applicants. So there you go. So 1 out of every 4 HR directors are going to be looking in some capacity at your credit profile. Now, I also want to add that there are currently 11 states that place limits on when an employer is allowed to use credit reports as a part of the hiring process. So if you live in California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Nevada, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. So if you do live in one of those states, I would highly recommend that you check out your local state guidelines and laws if you are being asked about your credit profile at the time of employment. Now, what are my personal thoughts on this? I do think it's BS for anyone, whether it's an employer or anyone for that matter, to be able to equate moral integrity or character to a 3-digit score, or not even a 3-digit score, but a credit profile. It's very hard to just pay attention to what's on someone's credit profile and extrapolate information on whether or not this person should be hired or if they have the character or the responsibility to be able to do a job. I think if you have the credentials or the certification or the job history, if you're able to demonstrate that you're able to do the job, in my personal opinion, I think that should be good enough. However, there are some instances where, like if you're trying to apply to work for a bank or some financial institution and you have been previously arrested for like fraud or some sort of theft, in those type of situations, I get the point. It does make sense. However, in most situations, again, I think whether or not you're able to do that job is about if you're able to do the job and not if you have a collection or an outstanding student loan payment or something to that effect. So I don't agree with it. However, regardless of whether you and I agree with the fact that employers can check out your credit report, this kind of proves the point of making sure that you are staying on top of what's on your credit profile. Making sure that you check out annualcreditreport.com. It is free, and during the time of COVID, you're allowed to request your credit report once a week. So the whole point of this video is to let you know, regardless of whether you're an entrepreneur, if you're trying to buy a home, whatever the case is, even if you're just trying to get a job, your credit profile and what's actually being pulled on your credit profile is extremely important. And it's important that you start today to not only get access to your credit reports, but start maintaining it, start improving it, start getting rid of some derogatory accounts, some late payments. Again, this is not about fair or not. This is about understanding how the world works, understanding what we need to do in order to make ourselves be presented in the right light. So this is just a quick video. I hope you got some nuggets out of that. If you got anything out of it, please go ahead and like and subscribe, put some comments down below, and I'm going to check you out in the next video. Peace.